Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. Today on Joe's Gunpla Garage we have a very exciting video where we're going to be unboxing the latest Master Grade release from Bandai. This is the Master Grade Gundam Vidar from Iron Blooded Orphans. So this right here is the first Master Grade release that we've seen in about 3 years or so. The last standard release non-Verka Master Grade was the DOM 1.5, I believe in 2021 or 2022. I don't fully remember. So a lot of people are really excited for this release because it's breathing new life into the Master Grade line. Now, Master Grade's dead is a kind of meme at the moment. I think it was just hibernating, catching up from COVID, from the factories being shut down, and Bandai's release schedule to coincide with their media. So thankfully, we have a new standard, regular Master Grade release. So what we're going to do on the channel is I'm going to put the camera up and we're going to look at these runners in alphabetical order. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I know there's a lot of interest in this, so let's get right into it. So to the left on this side, we have the A1 runner, and to the right on this side, we have the A2 runner. So this is a split runner. It's even got some indentations here in the center of the runner, so you can split it like so. So taking a quick glance at A1, this looks like it's going to be all inner frame pieces. So we have the head piece here, the crest under the V-fin, the main face, the center torso area, and then the other side of the center torso, as well as some random pistons and moving bits. So we'll just glance over these parts real quick, and taking a quick look at these, I can already tell that there's a lot of really nice surface detail on this. Now I haven't built the Master Grade Barbatos, so I can't comment on how much of this is copy-pasted from the Master Grade Barbatos, but given that it's an Iron Blooded Orphans frame, it should be relatively similar. What I'm really liking that I'm seeing already is all the surface detailing within here. Like we have all this venting up here on the crest that goes underneath the V-fin. We have all these panels here that go on the side of the torso, sort of near the AHAB reactor. And then we have the upper torso area there, which also looks really nice. We have some venting here on the back and some greebling up there. A nice molded piston here and on there, and then this power hose here. On the back side, we really don't have any reverse detailing or undergating, so just a few snips of these pieces and you should be good to go. Just taking a quick cursory look at the copyright date, this is 2019, so this is copied from Barbatos, so that's gonna be my way to tell really briefly in this video if it's a new part or if it's an older part, just based on the copyright date on the runner. Here we have the A2 runner, and this is just more inner framing parts. And again, like the A1 runner, it continues the theme of really nice surface detail here. And I love the surface detail on these inner frames because it really gives you the feeling that you are building a mech. It's peak aesthetic, as the kids would say these days. So we have our portion for the hands here, the main palm of our hands, the different types of hands we can choose with this nice spread hand there, and some really nice surface detailing on that spread hand. We even have that like little vent there in the palm. That looks great. If I had to guess, these pieces here would be for the forearm. On the underside, we have the back of these skirts, and it does have some raised edges here for some of that truss framing. So if you wanted to paint this a different color to bring this detail out, that would be pretty smart. Same with the A1 runner. There's not a ton of reverse details other than these skirts here, and there's no undergating on this runner. So this should snip off the runner pretty quickly. Here we have two identical B runners, and we're only going to look at one of them. Starting off, this is another runner from 2019, so I suspect this is more Barbatos. And this is just going to be a continuation of the framing here. All right, so this is the forearm. So what we looked at earlier was probably the upper thigh, but the surface detailing on that hose there on the forearm looks really, really, really good. I'm really impressed with this because I'm typically a real grade and high grade builder. I do like my fair share of master grades, but sometimes they leave a little bit to be desired for me in terms of surface detail. I would like more surface detail to kind of make the best use out of the 1/100 scale. So seeing all that surface detailing baked into just this inner frame here, I'm feeling really, really good about this kit. And from the promotional images, The rest of the armor looks like it's going to continue this trend of great surface detailing. Some really nice mold there. It's so chiseled in there, all those finite details. That looks fantastic. Just a really nice, great looking inner frame. There's tons of surface detail on this inner frame. I'm really impressed with it and really excited about this release. Here we have C1 runner down here and C2 runner up here. There are 2 of these, so this is going to be more inner framing type of pieces. Again, this runner is from 2019, so this is more Barbatos stuff. And going down here, we have all these piston pieces. So it looks like there's going to be a ton of really nice moving parts and mechanical structure to this release. Ignore this missing piece. Some pieces did come off in shipping. We have some really nice detailing on this hose here. Once again, this probably goes on the back leg. And it's nice that this is separate. So if you wanted to, you could paint this before your assembly and have a really nice color separated piece. So if you wanted to make this red to kind of bring the details out and differentiate the hoses from the inner frame, you could very well do that, and it would be very easy to do so. We have the bottom of the Barbatos feet, which I presume isn't going to be used on the Vidar because the feet on the Vidar are quite a bit different over the Barbatos. And some more really nice, really detailed inner framing pieces. If you wanted to paint this and go all in with the details, you really could. The sky is the limit with this kit. It looks like we're about done with the inner framing here, and I really want to say I'm really impressed with all these runners. This is exactly what I want to see from a Master Grade release. It's perfectly utilizing that 1/100 larger scale over the high grade, so we're getting a lot of really nice surface detail here. So that's what I like in my Master Grades. I like my Master Grades to go against anime accuracy and really use that extra scale size to its benefit to give us all of this detail. Here we have runner D1, and this is all just piston pieces for the Vidar, so I'm not going to really spend a whole lot of time on it. This is just injected silver from 2019, so more Barbatos. Yeah, just some piston pieces. Here's runner D2 again from Barbatos 2019 down there, and this is in Bandai's injection gold color, so I'm probably going to paint this. Doesn't look fantastic. We can see a lot of swirls in the injection here, which is pretty typical for Bandai's injection gold. It's fine to leave this as is out of the box because you're probably not going to see a ton of these details on the completed model. But just for my own benefit and my own knowledge of like, hey, you know, I know that's there, so I like that detail, I'm gonna probably end up painting these a better gold color. Here we have our first new runner. This is the E runner with the copyright date of 2024. So we know that all these parts here are new parts for Vidar. We have 2 shooting hands down here for that pretty cool looking rifle. And then we have all the head pieces here. So we have the front of the face, and then the 2 halves of the head there. And this continues the trend like we saw on the Barbatos head on the earlier runners. Some really nice detail here. Looks like here we get some different side chest pieces for the inner framing. And again, some nice detail, like we even have detail baked into the actual socket there. That looks really good. I just really like this. This looks really great. We have these pieces here with some truss framing down the center. And then what appears to probably be some bicep joints with all this tracking in the center there. That would look really good if you did that in silver to contrast against the gray of the framing. More miscellaneous joint pieces down the rest of this runner and some more piston pieces. So there are going to be some variations between the Vidar and the Barbatos. So I'm wondering how many leftover parts we're going to have once this kit is completed. Looks like we get a different upper chest portion here. Doesn't look that much different from the one we saw on the runner earlier. And then we get some different pilot's chairs. One has a different Alea Vignana system in it. I don't remember which one, I just remember seeing that on the Facebook groups. A very nice looking runner here. So this E-runner is all new parts for the inner framing that's specific to Vidar itself, that's different from the Barbatos. So we're definitely going to get some leftover parts from the Barbatos frame, but these parts are going to make up for those parts. Here we have 2 F runners, and this is going to be more inner framing pieces for the Vidar, so specific inner frame pieces for Vidar. And I assume a lot of these pieces are going to be shared between the rest of the inner frame for the Vidar, as well as its sword boosters that are on the side of the mobile suit itself. There's no deviation from this runner on the added surface detail. It is very consistent with the other runners that we looked at from the Barbatos. So this is, I assume, going to be more feet pieces because the foot is very different from Barbatos. And then down here we have the lower calf leg type area. And then this piece here for the kind of sword sheath, if you will. Flipping this runner over, we don't have a ton of interior detail. There's a little bit on this sheath here, but I don't know how much of that we're actually going to see. And like the other runners, there's no undergating on this runner. So here we have runner G1 on top and G2 on the bottom. All that's different between G1 and G2 is G1 has these white pieces down here towards the bottom, and G2 has these pink clear pieces and this vent piece up there for the chest. So we're going to look at all of G1 and then just the specific pieces for G2. We'll start off in the red area here. We have the two thrusters for the front and the back of the knee in this nice red color, and we have some nice detail within there. So we have that interior ring towards the bottom, and we have the ring towards the top for the thruster. That looks really, really nice. We have the sort of foot blade here for the back and the front, I believe. I could be mistaken. I could have them reversed. These are molded in a very, very dark black color, so something you're not going to see a ton of detail on unless you use a type of gray panel liner. We have the main armor pieces here in this somewhat muted blue color, which looks really nice. I would call this kind of a cavalry blue. Looks really, really good. And again, it's got some really nice surface detailing throughout all these armor pieces. They really did, the Vidar design, a lot of justice with this. This looks absolutely fantastic. We do have a pesky mold line on this armor piece here that goes across, but that should be easy enough to flatten out with your balancers. We have this small piece here with a ton of venting on it. That looks really, really good. And then the rest of the runner is just more armor pieces in that cavalry blue, all with fantastic panel line details throughout. So down here we have Vidar the pilot and Vidar the pilot sitting down, as well as probably something that wraps around the cockpit itself, similar to how Unicorn does. And then some miscellaneous white armor pieces, and again, swimming in surface detail. This is everything I've ever wanted in a Master Grade. This looks fantastic. Taking a look at G2, here's what's different. We got these pink parts down here, so I believe this is for the Ahab reactor. That is for the eyes, and then this is for the lens on the rifle. And then up here for this black piece, we just have some venting. I assume that's going to go somewhere on the chest. Both G1 and G2 are fantastic runners. There's a ton of really nice detail here. This is scratching a big chord with me with all the surface detail. There's not really any interior detail on the back side of the runner, and I don't see any undergating on this runner either, so I assume there's not going to be any undergating on this kit at all. Here we have runner H, which is in a darkish type of charcoal gray color, and this is just going to be armor separation pieces for Vidar, because the Vidar is based off a cavalry blue and darkish gray black type of color scheme. This is probably why I like it so much, because blue and black is one of my favorite color schemes. And this looks really, really nice. We have some open slots here on the rear skirt where the inner frame is going to poke through. That's going to look really nice, as well as here with the front skirt as well. We have this nice vent here, which we can see through, so that's going to look really cool on the completed kit. Got this piece here with these nice vents on either side. So Bandai's really doing a great job putting a lot of detail onto all these parts. I believe this is the front of the skirt, so we have this nice little chiseled in kind of spike there in the center. That looks pretty cool. And then here we have the left and right side of the head. Again, some really nice surface detailing on that. Lots of panel lines that wrap around the whole head. We have some more head pieces, the front chin section, and then I believe this is the hilt and then the front piece of the sword. Really nice type of charcoal gray H runner. A lot of really nice details here. Not really much of any interior detail at all whatsoever on this runner, except on the handguard for the sword. Here we have two identical eye runners, and this is continuing that type of charcoal gray color. So this is basically the side skirt armor that houses all the blades for the sword, and they'll slot into these holes here at the top. And taking a close look at these parts, we have all sorts of vents, we have all sorts of panels, a lot of really nice detail on these parts. It looks fantastic. This is going to take a while to panel line, so definitely something I'm going to want to use my Tamiya on. Here we have two halves of the backpack thruster itself, and then these two spikes down here go on this side, on either side of the scabbard. Down here we have some armor separation, so these go on the upper portion of the calf, and there's a nice vent that pokes through this little triangle area. We have the front shin armor here, And again, to no one's surprise, it continues the really nice theme of putting all this surface detailing on all these runners. I'm really impressed with this kit. I kind of wish I had built Barbatos already, so then I'd have something nice to compare it to from frame to frame. So here we have two halves of the pistol, and then the upper slide for the pistol. So we're gonna have some sliding action up here on the actual pistol itself. That looks awesome. That looks really cool. I'm so happy they did that, so you can do an action pose where you're actually firing the pistol from Vidar itself. Not a ton of surface detail on the back side. We can see all these ridges and lines here for that sliding gimmick. Got a little bit of surface detail here on these fins for the scabbard. Really nice looking, well-detailed runner, to no one's surprise. Here we have the lone J runner, and this is just armor pieces that are kind of specialized. So we have the two halves of the chest here where those black vents on G2 poke through. We have the front cockpit hatch here. Some really nice surface detailing on it. Some more armor pieces. I believe this is probably somewhere on the head or maybe the front of the waist. We have the sort of raised mohawk area on the top of the head there. That looks really nice. And then we have the V-fin here, swimming in surface detailing, looking absolutely chiseled and fantastic, and just a scotch of detailing on the underside. Here is runner H2. I apologize for doing this out of order. It was a smaller runner, so it got sorted into the smaller runner stack. And this is just the rifle, a very nice looking rifle. I can't remember if this is a beam rifle or if it's a projectile type rifle, because I know Iron Blooded Orphans was big on projectiles and melee type weapons. But I really like the design of this rifle. I think it looks pretty good. Nothing crazy to write home about, just a simple sandwich joint type of rifle. Finally, last but not least, we have two K runners, and this is all the blades for the swords. And while these sword blades could be really boring, there is some nice surface detailing on there. So we have that ring there. It looks like we even have more chiseled bits towards the end of the blade itself. These look awesome. I didn't actually anticipate there being any form of detail on the sword blade itself, and here I am surprised. So here we have our stack. We have 19 runners total here to make up the Vidar. We have a lot of gray here because there's a lot of gray involved with this very detailed inner frame. And we are going to have some leftover pieces from the Master Grade Barbatos that this basically shares an inner frame with. Taking a quick look at the manual, we can see the shared runners, and all these X's are pieces we're not going to use that were used for Barbatos but not used for Vidar. So we do have quite a bit of extra pieces here involved with the Vidar itself. So while the high grade frames were very similar to one another, it looks like this is going to be quite a departure from that philosophy because we have these extra runners down here that is specific to the Vidar frame itself. Here we have these stickers. This is a pretty light sticker sheet. We have stickers for the eyes, stickers for the sensor. I believe this sticker is probably going to be for the lens of the beam rifle, and then this pink sticker here is more than likely for the Ahab reactor. And then here we have some very nice, I'm so happy they included these, some real grade type stickers here that we don't always get with every single Master Grade release. So it's nice to see that they included these for this Master Grade Vidar. And we can see that this isn't in that type of starch red color, it's in more of a kind of pinkish magenta color. So it's going to contrast really well with that Calvary blue and the charcoal gray color scheme. Thank you all so much for watching this unboxing video of the Master Grade Vidar. If you've made it this far, be sure to drop a like below and comment below if you're excited for this new Master Grade release. I know I am, it looks fantastic. This kit checks every single box I've ever wanted from a Master Grade Gundam. It's got a ton of surface detailing on it. It's got a ton of frame detailing on it, a lot of really nice mechanical detailing on it with all those pistons, as well as all the tracks, panels, molded pistons and vents and things such as that, all built onto the inner frame itself. So if you really wanted to spend a lot of time and have a really impressive inner frame, you could really do that with this kit. It looks fantastic. Now I have a lot of work to do. I gotta snap this up and get this reviewed on the channel because I know this is a very hot release and it's gonna be a hot topic. Before I go, I just want to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. We're doing absolutely phenomenal on the channel. I'm so happy you guys trust me to bring you good Gundam related content. Until the next video, stay safe, have fun, and happy building.